Hello and welcome back to my channel. In my recent plant shopping adventure, I showed this little collage of fairy plants I've got, which are really meant for terrariums. And I decided that I'm going to create a mini terrarium using some recycled materials. So stay tuned and I'll do that right now. When you buy little fairy plants, they come in really tiny containers and they're really hard to keep watered. So one thing that will happen is if you let fairy plants go dry, or any plant that says keep moist, it'll be right on the tag, it'll say keep moist. If you let those dry out, it's probably going to be the death of the plant. So in order to hold moisture, I'm going to be adding sphagnum moss into this. And I'm going to be planting these little babies right into the sphagnum moss. So this particular plant is called a Heartleaf Fern, or a heart fern. And I was shocked to know that this is a fern, but yeah, they come in all shapes and sizes, but it's kind of a cute little thing. I believe the other plants that I have here is this is probably a type of a nerve plant, although there was no tag. And I believe the last one is a type of Dracaena. Again, I'm not 100% sure. If anybody knows, please let me know in the comments. There were no tags, so it doesn't really matter. I got them for the differences in the texture. Let's talk about that for a minute. So you can see these three plants together. They all look a little bit different. You have a limey green color here, which is really nice. And then you have this little spike. So the texture of it is different. And then this darker green heart shape. And together they make a really good collage or a collection. And I'm going to be planting those up today. So the vessel I'm going to use to plant in is actually a recycled candle. It's a really heavy duty candle. It was one that I got at Walmart, and it's called Blue Fern and Citrus. It was a very nice scent if anybody wants to go get that candle. I don't know if this is from a couple of years ago. I don't know if they still have it, but it's a nice color blue, which I like for my decor, and I can repurpose it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hydrate some sphagnum moss. This comes dehydrated, and I simply soaked it, and then I squeezed it out until I couldn't wring out any more water. So it is wet, but not dripping wet. And so that's going to be my base. I'm going to start by putting a layer of moss in the bottom of this. And then I'm just going to start pulling these pots. Some of them are pretty rip bound. When I first got them, they were drying out like on the daily, which is just not usual for me. Not in a desert area. So I'm going to put this heart one, the heart fern, Heartleaf Fern, so it's kind of draping over the edge because I kind of like that. And then I'm going to put this one, you can see all the roots that were wrapping around in the back. And then I'm going to take the Dracaena. And you can see how it's like on one side. So I'm going to push that side to the edge of the pot. That way they all have their own little space, so they play nice together. That's my goal. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the moss. I'm going to try to create a little ball of it and try to be able to delicately place it in here without damaging the roots of the plant. It's a little bit of a tricky job. To contain it. So I'm just very lightly pressing it in there. I don't want to damage any of the delicate roots that would be on those little baby plants. I'm going to tuck it around the back. It's really quite a lovely thing. So I suggest if you have any candles around your house, a lot of people have candles, that you go look at them and see if it's something you want to do. Then what you do to get the candle out of there once it's spent is you put the candle itself in the freezer, the remnants that you want to get out, and you let it freeze overnight, and then you bring it out in the morning and you put a knife and crack it or tip it upside down, and the candle, the wax is froze, will actually come out and it cleans up beautifully. It's a little hack. If anybody needed to know how to get candle wax out of a candle jar, holder, whatever you want to call it. So again, I'm just going around where I have some loose areas where I can feel there's nothing there. And I'm just going to continue to make, I'm going to make little balls like this. So I can tuck it in there. Again, not trying to press too hard. Make sure some of these leaves are out of the wet stuff. If I haven't mentioned it already, this vessel does not have any drainage holes in it, which is okay because I just know I have to be very delicate about how I water. Maybe I only missed it, but I can't pour water in this. It's going to have to be a very light drizzle, if anything. If I get too much in, then I'm going to risk rot, which we don't want to do. Although these plants want to be wet, they don't want drowned. So there you have it. That's my mini terrarium using recycled materials. How fun. It was a fun project. And this one I'm going to keep in my bathroom. Again, because there's a little bit higher humidity. So if this video is helpful, give us a thumbs up so YouTube knows to share this content with others. Thanks for stopping by. Have a great day.